Hey everyone, it's DJ. I just came to guess give you guys a report and show everybody what I was up to. I wasn't doing much this early morning besides creating a 3D image. I'm actually talking to a Japanese author and creator for a game, and I'm trying to give him a character that I was going to create. And they're giving me a cube right now, and I got to distort the image and create a character from this cube. And it's got to be like a kind of like a anime character in a way for him for his game. So I've been trying to get a hold of him. He's been writing me back, the creator of games and whatnot. He has a Patreon, and I told him I didn't want any payment because like I was just starting out making game creators. I mean, game characters and whatnot. So I said you don't have to pay me. He's like, no, 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 we'll pay you. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I wrote him earlier yesterday, and I sent him a video just like this one. And he was like, he looked at the video, and he was like, hmm. So I got 2 days to finish this character, and I was just looking at all the memes about the coronavirus, and this is why I disagree with the narrative, and I believe a lot of Americans are kind of retarded when it comes to this shit. You motherfuckers will sit there and follow these executive orders for shit that you didn't vote on. And this is what I wanted to talk about. For people who live in Florida, you people are so close to possibly being a martial law and falling into a trap, and yet y'all just don't see the trap in front of you. Y'all just want to stay in front of your houses so martial law can be ensued, and they can just pick you up individually one by one. I mean, it's like you're sardines in a can. It'd just be easy to open you up and eat you alive. It's like y'all just don't question nothing in this country at all, and it just seems like y'all are just so easily swayed to do whatever it is that the powers that be want, and y'all just think that this virus thing, was just, out of the blue. And isn't it funny how, all the stuff that happened, say 10 years in the past, and, now this. And then this isn't the only virus that mysteriously came this way and affected certain people. You know what I mean? And people just don't understand how viruses work either. And yet, we had a chance to stop this virus from actually getting as strong as it did and getting as far as it did, but yet no one wants to narrow that out. And yet when people complain about these issues, and say like from viruses to looting to criminality of the American population to violence in the streets. When we bring this to the attention, people will come up and say, well, you hate America. No, it's not that we hate necessarily America. You know what I'm saying? The government and the countrymen at large just don't give a shit about the population who has been here. And it's blatantly obvious when it comes to the old people who live here. If you don't care about the elders, what makes you think you care about anyone else? I mean, the fact that we have old people dying out in the street from viruses and what have you just shows that you don't really care as a population and that we don't need to be here. And people will say, just leave. It's not that easy. It's funny how people that grow up here and we're used to being lied to on a daily basis, right? So imagine us being lied to on a daily basis, saying that we can be whatever we want in this country, even though that's not pretty much true. I mean, you can make the best of your situation and try to become something at least. You know what I'm saying? Imagine these people saying you can be whatever you want for years on end. And then when you find out the way the world works and say like you say fuck this shit, I don't want to be part of this. Say like the country you want to go to ends up getting nuked and bombed by the country that you're living in, and you had no sway, you had no opinion, you had no agreement to this country being bombed that you wanted to move to. And then when it's all said and done, you have nowhere to go. Like America makes it to the point where you have nowhere to go, and even if you did have somewhere to go, just because you were born in America, people might not welcome you with open hands, and that's what people aren't understanding. And it's not that it's not that it's not that people hate America, because some people do. But to think that America does not need to have any judgment passed upon it. To say that America is safe from, judgment is just beyond freedom. Like, you can't sit there and say that I can't pass judgment on the country when it's doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's doing something just kind of ridiculous, especially for taxpayers. Like, if you're trying to say that if we can't talk shit about our country, even though we're taxpayers, and you're stupid, because that defeats the point of freedom. We can talk as much shit as we want to about this country and still live here, because that's freedom, and it is your First Amendment right. Yes, that's freedom. If I have a distaste in the place that I live at, you're damn right that I should be able to have the freedom to voice my opinion on why it is that I feel this way. Exactly. Trump chose to ignore this shit. It's funny how Darius RBK sees this now, and it's funny. I used to he was a Boy Scout. I didn't even know that. I used to actually go to his house and chill with him back in the day, and yeah. Now, that's the thing. Like, if they showed us, and that's another thing, if the American government showed us that they didn't care, why is it that no one's stepping up to these people when they blatantly showed us that they did not care about us, and they let all these people in our borders with all these diseases possibly, and yet y'all call it racism, and it's really not. This is biological warfare at its finest, and yet we don't know where this actually came from, and this is really the fault of the American government, because they've been saying for years that they were going to close the borders, and they wait till a fucking pandemic to do so. And if you have majority vote for your commander in chief, then you should know that we wanted them borders closed. In fact, a lot of people were saying the fact that these borders aren't closed, they're asking for trouble. And just but to say that America doesn't deserve any scrutiny, on his name, or any judgment at all. Like, no, dude. There's some fucked up things that a lot of people do. And to show blind loyalty and blind patriotism just doesn't really help the situation out. It really does not. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is beyond the pale for this shit to go on. This is way beyond the pale. And the truth of the matter is, some people were prepared, but a lot of people weren't. And what's messed up is a lot of people in the government were just not prepared at all. And they didn't care to help out the people that they were governing over. It just goes to show you that if this were worse, the government wouldn't give a shit about you. The government would not give a shit about you. And you know what's fucked up for a lot of girls if they're attractive? They keep thinking that everything's fine and this and that. But if this, like I said, things are contained and stable, I guess. But if this were worse, a lot of y'all just ain't ready for what's about to happen. Maybe even me, for that matter. You know what I mean? The fact that y'all have letting so much shit over time go out of check, you are starting to realize fury right now, and the fires rise. That's all it is. And oh, why does everyone hate America? Why is everyone doing this? And why is everyone not staying inside? Because you're about to witness rage and a real intense fury for the first time in your life. This is why no one pays attention to the government orders and shit like that, because we know the government's full of shit. There are some things that the government is right on, but when you know that what the government has done in the past, and when you know that some shit just doesn't add up, in your daily routines of the country that you live in, you start to suspect things of a different nature that could be happening in the mist around you. And I'm just scrolling down Facebook. I'm rambling right now. I just woke up, so I probably sound like an idiot right now, but who cares? Um, Hi, look, it's Dana. But hell, is shit on here. This is just a report I was doing. I just woke up. I was doing like an early morning report for an activity I was doing. I don't know what type of 3D, 3 dimensional character I wanted to create for this company that I'm trying to, I guess, I don't know if they want me to work for them or whatnot. Hmm. Ugh. Damn, I don't feel good right now. But I guess for some people out there, study this damn virus before anything. It is an RNA. Um, I don't think it's like most other viruses like STDs and whatnot. It just spreads through surfaces and whatnot. And I really think it's from people who don't take showers and who are really dirty as fuck. And I have seen that in my life where people in this country, this is what's fucked up. You motherfuckers claim to be number one, right? But these dirty motherfuckers who don't take showers in your country fucking exist. And you act like this is just totally okay for motherfuckers to do this shit for long periods of time. Let me put it this way, since we're talking about the microscopic, did you know that there's fucking bugs that live on your skin? And there's thousands and millions and probably billions of these motherfuckers on your skin. Now imagine that. Now can you imagine these billions of bugs on you who just shit and mate and fucking die on your body? Can you imagine like all that dirt and grime and bugs on your body and the constant bugs that shit on your body and leave dead carcasses on you? That's where that stench comes from. You have millions and billions of bugs that eat dead flesh on you and other things on your body, and they die on you. For people to not take showers and be the least bit of clean, I don't fucking know about you, bro. Because, like, the world is that much bigger than you fucking think, guys. And it truly is. And to sit there and just not look at just look at what the fuck's going on around you through a microscopic lens even sometimes, or just to listen to the people around you and just decipher out all the information is just beyond me. It really is. They just don't look. And I understand, like, everybody's different. Everybody's stuck in their ways. Everybody's, a hypocrite in their own way. I guess even Darren is. But somehow we have to deal with each other. And I don't agree with curfew. I don't agree with, this whole stay at home order for what? I mean, we can't, everybody's like, well, everything's temporarily suspended. That just means that if you don't understand what temporary suspension means, say like if DeSantis suspended a mortgage and a few other things so you wouldn't get evicted from your house. Let's just say he suspends evictions too. All that is a 30-day eviction notice, right? That's all it is. You ever know? You know that housing authorities and whatnot, and landlords and even banks have to give you a notice before they kick you out. You ever notice how the notice is always 30 to 45 days, depending on which area that you're in? Doesn't it seem like Governor DeSantis just basically gave you an eviction notice? He just temporarily like suspended like this money that you still owe, and by the time you get this, if you do get this Donald Trump money, all you're gonna do is just end up paying that money towards bills because a majority of you are unemployed and whatnot. and you act like this is fair to the civilians. Why? You know what I mean? And yet you're happy about this. Why? You know, you don't have a job. Some of you have a little bit of money, but all that's going to go away. And then all you'll have is enough money to pay bills. And meanwhile, these energy corporations are probably getting a big check too from the Trump money. But, you know, somehow or another, they still want your little $1,200 check, and you think this is fair. Why? And I'm going to let that resonate as I continue on my rants for either, you know, early on today when the sun rises or tomorrow. And this is just a report because it's the, you know, it's the early in the month, and it's April. My birthday's actually in a couple of days, and we're stuck on quarantine. And I don't know if I'll probably be using Facebook anymore. I've been actually trying to get a new website going on, and I've been using new stream sites because there's a lot of new stream sites now. I used to use YouTube, but I no longer use YouTube anymore because of the fact that it's owned by Google, and the fact of the matter that I believe that Google is totally a communist type of corporation. It's very left-leaning, and they seem to not actually allow free speech in the slightest, even just joking around, or even someone just slightly disagreeing with you in a negative limelight. For you know, you can get your videos taken down. I have noticed that YouTube has tried to be fair on some instances when it comes to the First Amendment and free use and you know, expression, the freedom of expression online, but I have seen YouTube actually take a negative turn. And when they started losing people to other stream sites, that's when they started lightening up. I don't plan on going back to YouTube because they are an evil corporation. What's funny about YouTube is they were never like that. They never gave a shit about nothing. That's what made YouTube great, because it believed in total freedom. It was anarchic. But now, since you have all these people whining and crying about, you know, all this stupid shit that's going on in the world for fake news and all this other shit, they wanted to start banning videos because of fear, because a lot of you Americans are just pussies anyway, who just like, hide behind a badge and a fucking computer screen, you know, and in your mouths. Really, you just hide behind your mouths. And, you know, this is everyone. I'm talking about myself here too. There's a lot of shit that I do that I don't make sense to a lot of people, but you know, all in all, there's a lot of shit that everyone does that may annoy someone. But when it comes to the actions of aristocratic few and how they've been getting so far out of you know, out of check, and no one putting them in check, is just beyond the pale. And no one wants to do anything. That's why I don't like being here, because at heart there's this pacifist nature that I do not like about the American people, and it has to stop. Especially when we're getting plagued by fucking viruses, no one wants to do anything, and these could really be man-made. These could really be fucking man-made, and you know what's fucked up about this? These viruses could spread, right, and kill off a whole mass of the population. And you know what really pisses me off is this Christian community is gonna sit here and be like, God has demanded this. God wants this to fucking happen. There's nothing you can do. Like, you know, there's gonna, like, that pacifist nature. Like, bro, you could stop this fucking virus if you weren't a fucking moron. You know what I mean? You know, and it's not even just sitting at the house. You people believe everything you see on a fucking glowing box, right? And it's fucking hilarious to me. Like, you people believe everything on a fucking glowing box, and this could make the government easy to swoop in on you, you know, and take away your rights overnight. This just gives them leeway to do it. I mean, hell, 9/11 gave them leeway to destroy countries that had nothing to do with 9/11. What the fuck do you think this virus is going to do for the government? Look at what they're doing now. They passed a fucking bill and tried to get $6 trillion from the American public and run away from you guys. Like, you motherfuckers better wake the fuck up. These people got $6 trillion in their hand and they can run out the door. And it's your money. Wake the fuck up, dude, and stop sucking cock.